Hey everybody, this is JDGaming, back today with a discussion about something I've recently been struggling with basically since the last video. For the first time in a while, I was on a roll with more frequent uploads, and I even made some changes to the channel's staple Let's Build videos that I felt were major improvements given how long I've been making such videos. But over what ended up becoming about a month or so, I've been struggling with the gap. It's a term some of you may have heard of, and a concept many more of you may already be familiar with. This gap I'm talking about refers to any significant difference between one's perception of a skill and their own performance or level of execution. Artists often discover early on in their learning that their eye for art has developed far more quickly than their actual ability to draw, sculpt, or produce whatever it is they can mentally process and understand. This often leads to discouragement, artist block, and in more severe cases, the person giving up altogether. It happens because it simply takes a longer time for one to develop the skills necessary to keep up with the mind's understanding of a process. And it's not just limited to art. Many diehard sports fans can tell you the qualities that make a certain athlete or player great versus one that makes them mediocre. Yet, given the opportunity to try it out themselves, the vast majority cannot perform anywhere near how well the professionals they watch can. Some might not even know how to do the basics like dribbling a ball. In the context of Yu-Gi-Oh!, I've been building decks for the channel for so many years, I feel like I've improved enough as a player over that time to better appreciate and understand what makes a variety of decks function, at least at some competent level. Sure, I'm not the best player in the world, and I don't pretend to be. And by no means is every one of my fun creations going to win all the time, even at the lower levels of organized play. But I can understand what makes a deck cohesive like a fully fleshed web, as opposed to just a gimmick driven on an easily disrupted combo. This is where my recent struggles with Gigavise come in. For the uninitiated, this deck is an older plant strategy that uses the Supervise Equip spell to unlock the potential of the Gigaplant Gemini monster. While anyone looking at Geminis for the first time in 2020 may be entirely underwhelmed, much like back when the theme first debuted in 2007's Tactical Evolution, Gigaplant surprised duelists with its ability to revive useful plant monsters like Lone Fire Blossom and eventually Spore and Glow Up Bulb. This allows the player to synchro summon Power Tool Dragon, one of my favorite synchro monsters of all time, who can search a copy of Supervise. And as a bonus, anytime that equipped Gigaplant falls to the graveyard, even for that synchro summon, it is revived by Supervise, giving you the opportunity to activate yet another copy of Supervise and repeat that cycle. Even today, the deck is capable of creating multiple Crystal Wing Synchro Dragons and a Borreload Savage Dragon for a mighty board packed with negations. But with weeks of testing and going back to the drawing board, the best support I could find to consistently generate a level 7 Power Tool Dragon was the Link Climb strategy featuring Crystron Halqifibrax or Needle Fiber, Link Cross, Formula Synchron, Martial Metal Marcher, and of course, Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. This fully splashable package was certainly capable of generating a level 7 Synchro monster to support the Gigaplant theme, but it seemed it was actually better than the antiquated Gigaplant package. Supervise and Gigaplant were engine requirements that are functionally bricks if the combo doesn't go off. Many of the key components like Lone Fire Blossom, Evil Thorn, and Aromaseraphy Jasmine that encouraged the use of Gigaplant were dead in the water after just one hand trap. Without a doubt, the Gigavise combo was the worst part of the deck, even if it was cool when it went off. The deck's performance just wasn't up to the standards I had developed over the last few years, so I got back to rebuilding the deck, and removed Gigaplant altogether. Then I wanted to remove the Lone Fire Blossoms to boost resilience to disruption. Each subsequent iteration just felt like I had strayed too much from my original vision. There's nothing inherently wrong with seeing the better option and taking it. Heck, this kind of iterative process is great for discovering those happy accidents that could end up being more fun than anything you originally envisioned. Yet as a creative player, one of my key goals is to find a win condition that strikes a balance between fun and functional. If I just wanted to win all the time, I'd be playing the best deck and devoting all my time to honing my skills with that. And if I were focused entirely on fun, I wouldn't care whether or not I win, and just that every once in a blue moon, I end up with the combo going off. But neither one of those extremes is who I am as a player. As I'm sure many of my viewers do, I enjoy the thrill of taking a fun interaction or a straight up crazy idea and fleshing it out into a full strategy that even I end up being thoroughly impressed with. But with Gigaplant, a deck I've been trying to play around with since Master Rule 3, and even tested a bit before tucking away during the Link era, I have to acknowledge after a month of hard work that if there's a way to play that deck with cards like Glow Up Bulb and Dandelion Band, I haven't found it quite yet. My brother actually said it best when he suggested Spore alone isn't a good enough reason to play plants right now. But how about zombies? Ill Blood is basically the same thing and has tons more support than Gigaplant ever had. I just might take him up on that suggestion one day. I don't want to judge the deck or the concept of using Supervise permanently and say I'll never play it again. But I figured if I haven't found what I'm looking for after this long, it's time to take a break from it and move on to something else. Quite honestly, I'm curious as to how a Zombie-Vise deck would play out, but for now, I want to see where the wind of inspiration takes me. Despite my absence from the channel, I've actually been building and playing decks this entire time, unlike some of the lull periods we've recently had with COVID and Master Rule changes and all that. This specific instance ended up being less fruitful than usual, but I still felt there was some value in sharing my experience with the Gap. I can't wait to continue cooking up the next big thing to share with you guys, and as a bonus, enjoy this little showcase of my Gigavise deck in action before I scrapped it. That's it for now, but feel free to grab one of these videos on your way out. If you really enjoyed what you saw today, remember to subscribe to JDGaming for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Thanks guys, this is JDGaming, hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll see you guys next time.